Okay, I have no idea what that was, but I was getting a massive red alert. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to reset it. I just turned off like anything that might be using my internet. That way the stream is a lot smoother. But like, yeah, it was. Yeah, that was something. Okay. Hello again. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, on OBS, there's like a little square that like it'll give you like a flash. It'll give you like either a green one if it's strong, yellow if it's starting to break, or like a red if it's starting to go down. And it was flashing yellow and red, so that was bad. So yeah, my cat meows at you. Well, tell Gordon, cat, tell your cat I said hi. You're playing Borderlands 4 this weekend? Oh, okay. I hope you have a good time with it. Russ, have I ever played Silent Hill 2 or oh god? Yes, Russ, I have attempted to play Silent Hill, and unfortunately, it didn't go very well. Did a whole video talking about it, and I even streamed it too. So yeah, it didn't go very well. What are my thoughts on the Clayface movie? I've already seen a red part with a recent footage making like it's gonna be like Joker 2. Clayface seems unusual, but like I'll give it a shot. I just like that's just an odd villain to make a movie about, but I'm guessing they have some sort of idea, so when it comes out I'll give it a chance. Do a top 10 5 favorite first person shooters. That would be pretty easy. Like something like BioShock, GoldenEye, maybe probably Resistance, Fall of Man, Call of Duty, Black Ops, and probably Halo 3. Like off the top of my head. What's a video Chill Moon, what's a video game you thought would be bad but it turned out to be great? I thought it would be bad. Um I don't know if I can think of a game I went into thinking it was going to be bad, but I can tell you that I didn't expect much from Assassin's Creed 2. I had attempted to play Assassin's Creed 1 when I was visiting my brother, and for some reason I just couldn't get past the first hour of Assassin's Creed 1, so I thought the whole franchise was crap. And then one day I decided to rent Assassin's Creed 2 just to give it a try, see if it was any different. And I absolutely fell in love with Assassin's Creed 2. So I think that's the closest example I can say to that. And I was a fan ever since. I played 2, Brotherhood, couldn't finish Revelations, 3 was fine, Revelations was Black Flag was GOAT. But I've been on and off with that franchise, so. How do the Metal Gear Solid 4 graphics hold up today? I think they're fine. I mean, you could re-render them and make them a little bit better, but I still think that game looks pretty good. Daniel, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I absolutely hate Silent Hill with a passion, and won't be seeing the next movie. I don't hate Silent Hill. It's just not my tone of horror. It's just not my tone. I gave it a try, didn't work, and I understand why it has a fan base, but it's just not for me. If any Batman villain needs a movie, I think it's Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, I can see that. Please whistle. There you go. Where's the Gears video? I'm working on it. However, I'm on the fence if I want to upload it as it is or if I want to play it with someone first. because I've played the campaign all the way through, and I've played an hour of multiplayer, which went disastrous. But I still feel like this is a game that would, like, I mean, you could say this of any game, but I just feel like I want to experience playing this game with someone else a little bit through the campaign. I want to experience every aspect of Gears before I give my review, and I think I can get that out by tomorrow. Not sure if you guys want me to stream an hour of Gears, because we haven't done a mystery stream. I still have my copy. It's right here. But I've played every aspect of it. But I've not played it with someone online. I think I want to do that first. Even if it's for like a couple chapters, I just want to experience it because I absolutely hate the computer AI. The partner AI. It was ugh. Hello there, chap. Hello, Mayboom. Welcome to the stream. Do you think Metal Gear Solid 4 is coming to PlayStation 5 anytime soon? No. I do not think that. I think we're too close to the PlayStation 6 for them to want to try to re-release it now. I think if it did come out, it might come out on the 6th. Brian, thoughts on Mortal Kombat 3? Well, it's definitely it's the best Mortal Kombat game from like the OG storyline. I think it's the best one in the, well, I mean, you could say Trilogies 2 is also pretty good, but like that style of Mortal Kombat, I'd go with 3. I haven't heard Gears isn't you've heard Gears isn't selling on PlayStation 5. I mean, I don't like it too much. I don't think it's that great, but I'm like, I might like it more if I was playing it with somebody, but I don't know. I tell you, there's so much about that game that reminds me of Resistance. And that game came out the same year. Spencer Scott, would you do a worst to best Conjuring universe films? I've never seen any of those films, Spencer. I've never seen any of those films. I'm not a horror fan. There's very few horror movies I actually like, but I don't actively go out and seek to watch horror films. So, no, I've never watched a Conjuring film. My favorite Devil May Cry character is Dante. Okay, well, common game, but that's good. My favorite character is Virgil. Have I watched the Boondocks? Yes, Ashad. I have absolutely seen Boondocks. I believe there's 3 or 4 seasons. I've seen all of them. Huey and Riley are great. Granddad is funny. Uncle Ruckus is crazy as it is. But yes, I quote that show all the time. You never played MK Trilogy. Well, I think they're re-releasing like a lot of those games. There's like doing like a remastered version of those old school Mortal Kombat games. I think it might be on there. I'd have to check, but if it is, give it a try. Who is my favorite Mortal Kombat character to play as? Scorpion is typically my main. It's different depending on the game, but if you're talking about like my overall favorite character, it's probably going to be Scorpion. Generic, but it's true. Was Sub-Zero in Mythology a bad guy? No, I mean, here's the thing about good and evil. It's like perspective. So, technically, at that point, Bihan was, I guess you could say, the equivalent of a good guy during Mythology. But you have to remember, that does take place before the original Mortal Kombat tournament. So, again, it's perspective. Thoughts on AJ Lee returning? Rashad, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's the second Becky got involved, which I thought she already was. I knew AJ Lee was going to come back, and now they're doing a mixed tag team matchup. So that wasn't really a surprise. Who is more evil, Harley Quinn or Green Goblin? Oh, definitely Green Goblin. Definitely. Because there's definitely variations of Harley Quinn that can be good. It all depends on who she's interacting with. Like, if she hangs out around Joker, she'll do a lot of devious stuff. If she hangs out with Poison Ivy or Batman, she's more heroic. I mean, there are versions of Harley Quinn that are actual, genuine, good. She's good. It just depends on who she's interacting with, who she's around. Black Wolf, what was the weirdest change in Mortal Kombat 1 when I pronounced Mortal Kombat 1-0? The weirdest change? Oh, it was a weird... I mean, I'll be honest. I can't think of any change that I had a real problem with. I mean, they made Baraka like it to be a disease. I thought that was fine. I can't think of any. I mean, having Scorpion not be Hanzo, I didn't think that was weird. I thought that was fine that you had both Bi-Han and Kuai Liang. I didn't have a problem with that. I actually really like the story of what that and what they did with Mortal Kombat 1 and the fact that it continued from the two endings of Mortal Kombat 11, how both endings were canon in terms of if Liu Kang won or if Shang Tsung won. I didn't see that coming, and I thought that was brilliant. So I like this new story, this new era of Mortal Kombat story, and I can't wait, and I hope after Injustice 3 comes out that, the story continues, because I really like it. It appears Scorpion was a bad guy mythology. Again, you really need to look at context. That's the thing about good and evil. It's really context, so you gotta look into that. Yeah, Norman is far worse. Indeed he is. Grade, Mortal Kombat, grade, Devil May Cry 4. Probably like an 8.5. I'd say out of all the Devil May Cry games, I think it's third. Like, just ranking them, like, just in general order, it would be 5, 3, 4, 1, then 2. But to be fair, I don't really like 1 all that much, and I don't think 2's all that bad. 2's just easy. Yeah, Goblin does some really messed up stuff in the comics. He even slept with Gwen Stacy, and I'm not mistaken. I believe so. You hope Kuai Liang becomes Sub-Zero. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see how you could do that, because Kuai Liang, like, I don't think that can work. Like, at this point, Kuai Liang can't ever be Sub-Zero. He's not a he's not a cryomancer. He can't be. You have to, like, they've said that a cryomancer. If anything, the more likely thing to happen if they don't make I don't know. I think, I don't know. They'll find some way to revive Sub-Zero. I mean, you need a Sub-Zero, so I don't know. You think Injustice 3 Gods will be a good title? I don't know. Gods of the Fall? I don't know. I don't know what they'll call it. Is Gears of War right to keep going, or should it have ended somewhere? I don't know. I'm not really a big Gears fan, so I can't really say. I mean, I've only played the first game, so, not really deep into it. Harley Quinn is not evil, but done questionable stuff. Yeah, I agree. I'm not playing Delta. I've stated that I will never play Delta. But I've heard a lot of people are having fun with it, and that's good. What about Halo? I'm a fan of Halo. I've stated that. I've played Halo on Xbox. I have Halo on PC, and I'm playing through it. And I'm no doubt it'll come to PlayStation, and I'll play it again. I have no complaints about. I mean, I'm not a Halo hater. I think in terms of success and storytelling, I think that Halo could easily go down as the greatest first-person shooter franchise of all time. Easily. You've got the multiplayer, you've got a story, you've got the franchise, and you're the face of Xbox. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I mean, do I think Halo is better than any first-person shooter franchise PlayStation's ever come up with? Absolutely. Do I think it's better than Killzone? Yes. Do I think it's better than Resistance? Yes. Yeah, but do you think it should have ended somewhere? I don't know. I really can't say. I don't know much about Gears. I only know the first game. So I can't really make an opinion on the story or how far it should go. I don't know. I've only played one game. Black Wolf, do you think Agent Venom can defeat Beauty and the Beast unit? I don't know much about Agent Venom. I know he's Brock and he's a good guy, but I don't know. Those are two franchises that should never mix. Comic Gamer, if people say Harleen is pure evil, then they must be talking about the Arkham games. Again, there's different variations of every comic book character. Like, there's a version of Superman that's bad. There's a version of Wonder Woman that's bad. There's a version of Batman, Bruce Wayne, that's evil. I mean, there's so many different variations of every character. There's no one definitive version. Do you like the storyline from Halo? I like it. I mean, I don't like every single game storyline, but I think it's fine. I think story-wise, personally, I think my favorite story is Reach. But I think my favorite game is definitely Halo 3. No, I'm referring to Halo. Do I think Halo should have ended? Halo's the face of Xbox. As long as Xbox is going, you gotta get another Halo game. Actually, this is an incarnation of Venom, and Peter was. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I don't read the comic books that much anymore. It won't be long till the next Halo game comes out to PlayStation 5 next year. If it's Halo 7 and Halo Collector's Edition Remake, what's better, Hot Halo or Call of Duty? Overall, I would say Halo. Personally. I think I stopped playing Call of Duty after the remake of Modern Warfare 2. But I have not played all the Halo games. I kind of stopped. So... Resistance series was interesting. Yes, it was. It had a good beginning, middle, and end, and the franchise ended after 6 games. And I thought that was a fine place to stop. And Killzone was the same thing. That place started in PlayStation 2, went through PlayStation 3, and ended at the very beginning of PlayStation 4. PlayStation Resistance is a kind of a mixture of 3, PSP, and Vita. So yeah. Would you like to use the Chiral network, the Kimono network? No, I would not. You mean Combat Evolve remake? They don't really need to remake it. They could just remaster it. It's been done before, and it was perfectly fine. But like a full-out remake? No, I don't think that's necessary. The game works as it is. Halo 1 Blood Groot's match was fun to play in multiplayer. I'm sure it was. I know I certainly played my fair amount of multiplayer. Sorry guys, I'm bouncing between 3 different screens. I think the Gun Survivor game needs to remake badly. Not familiar with that. Ever played SNK versus Capcom? No, Mayboom, I never did. Do I like Metal Gear Online? I tried it for a little bit, but I wasn't a big fan of it. Comic Gamer 360, you want to know, did you know Call of Duty 1 is on Steam from 2003? Even if it is, I don't need to play it. I've played the very, very, very first Call of Duty, and it's okay, but like, you know, I don't need to go back. Therefore, I can. There's a bunch of other Call of Duty games I would play over the old ones. I mean, don't get me wrong. It set the standard for like setting them in World War II. But there were also a bunch of other franchises that did that too, and they did it well. Hey Zach, welcome to the stream. Which horror/survival game have I played made me the most scared? Easily Dead Space. It's not even close. There are only 3 games in the history of gaming that have ever actually scared me, and that was Resident Evil 4, because that was my introduction to Resident Evil, so I didn't really know what to expect. Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. Just those 3 games. No cheap jump scares. I mean, like, actual scared to play. Like, when the first Dead Space came out, I would always play that shit in the dark. And I was always on edge. Now, I will say, the remake is better. The remake is better than the original. But I think they did almost, the best way I can say it, too good of a job remaking it, to the point where I kind of knew where everybody, like, it was kind of freaky how accurate it was to the original. Like, even all the jump scares and where people were going to pop out were identical. However, the one thing I think the remake did do was they always made sure that there was an enemy no matter what part of the ship you explored, which was not something that the original did. Like, if you cleared out all the enemies in an area, if you ever had to come back there, they wouldn't come back. But with the remake, even places you had cleared would have like 1 or 2 enemies, so you were always on edge. You could never fully relax, and that was something I really appreciated. It wasn't as scary because I knew where everything was going to happen, but I do think the remake was better. Thoughts on David Goggins? I'm not familiar with that name. Mayboom, I would be open to Time Crisis being remade. I mean, okay. I only know that from like the arcade on rail shooters. The Survivor games is a series of 4 games made by Capcom. Yeah, Black Wolf, I'm not familiar with those games. How about Silent Hill 2? Someone asked that earlier in this stream. I think for some of you that have been watching me, I did attempt to play the remake of Silent Hill 2 and I didn't like it. Did 2 whole videos talking about this. Have I heard about the new Fantastic Four movie? Yeah, I've heard about it, but I didn't see it. I heard people liked it and it was good, but it didn't do too well in the box office, and that's fine. Your favorite Resident Evil game is 4, both old and remake. Sorry, Comic, there's only one real 4. I don't know what the hell that remake did, but that wasn't 4. That was not 4. They changed way. I just played the demo and I knew I was going to hate this game. And for me, the remakes kept getting worse as they progressed. Like, I thought the remake of 2 was fine, but I hated the police station section. I just hated it. And then 3 was fine, but I could tell that they had taken out so much content. And then you go to 4, and I was like, I just got to play the demo. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to hate this game. And then I saw what they did in the story. I was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't play this game. That would have gotten a very bad review from me. Like, I don't like remakes to games that are 10 out of 10s. Like, and that's very hard to do, to get a 10 out of 10 out of me. Which is why I'm not playing Delta. I mean, I'm glad that people are liking it, but like, just from what I've seen of Delta, that would not have been a 10 out of 10. That would have gotten a significantly lower score. Like, somewhere in this, like 6.5 or 6. That's what I would have given Delta. Just from everything I've seen. Has a game pissed wait a second. Has a game pissed you off for all the right reasons, such as you wanted to turn the main villain into pace? How did I... Wait a second. Have I played it? Okay. Are you Okay, you're asking me, have I ever encountered a game that pissed me off because I wanted just to kill the villain? I'm sure I have, but, you know, that's a lot of games. Why don't I like the OG Resident Evil? Because the controls are shit! I'm sorry. Those tank controls are shit. That makes those games completely unplayable. Listen, when it comes to Resident Evil, and I've done multiple videos talking about this. I started with 4. I played 4, 5, 6, Revelations 2. So I call myself a Generation 2 fan. I played all of those newer games first. Then when I was done, then I went back and tried to play the original Resident Evil games, and I couldn't play them. I hated them. You're either a generation, there are two types of fans. You're either a Generation 1 fan who likes 1, 2, and 3, but hates 4, 5, 6 on, or you're someone who likes 4, 5, and 6, but doesn't like 1, 2, and 3. And then there's like another group of people that got into 7, and that's like Generation 3 fans. I don't believe anybody really likes all the Resident Evil games equally. I don't believe that. And anyone who says that, I think you're lying to yourself, because they are so vastly different. And I'm upset that they decided to remake 4 first before doing Code Veronica. Code Veronica absolutely deserves a remake, and so does Zero. Remake those first. Knock out all of the old school tank control Resident Evils first before you go to the very game that revolutionized third-person shooter games in the horror franchise. That's all I asked for. Did I think a remake to 4 was inevitable? Of course. But I would have liked if they had knocked out all the old Resident Evil games first. Heck, even go back and remake again for the second time the very first Resident Evil game, even though that game has already been remade. I don't think that's too much to ask. Did I ever play Dragon Ball Z Burst Limits? Oh, dear God, no. Dear God, no. Hey, James, welcome to the stream. Do you like the TO3 and their offshoots? I'm not too familiar with that, Black Wolf. You're going to have to remind me. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, you checked it out, the video on YouTube. I saw an hour of footage, and I could tell what they had done. I know that they changed some stuff. I know they took some stuff out. And as I said in the last stream, I never said that they replaced some of the actors. They only replaced the ones that couldn't come back. But in terms of lines and things, they did change a few things. Some lines they did again, and you can tell. They absolutely took audio lines from Metal Gear Solid 3 and put them in this game. Guaranteed. There is no way they brought the voice actors and recorded every single line again. Some of that wasn't necessary. You can kind of, if you're really good at voiceovers, you can kind of tell what's a new line and what's a different line, because all those voice actors, their performances are slightly different than how it was 20 years ago. Like if you did a song or said a line 20 years ago, it'll sound a little different if you said it now. And so I was really good at catching a number of lines I could tell were new, and a number of lines I could tell were just taken straight from the old game. So they kind of half-assed it a little bit. What about Resident Evil 4 HD? I mean, it's HD. I mean, it's fine. No complaints. Rashad, I liked Thing more from 2005 Fantastic Four movie. I didn't hate those Fantastic Four movies in the 2000s. I thought they were fine. I mean, they weren't great, but they were fine. Wing, I'm a 1 to 8 fan. Not equally, though. I like OG and 7 Best. That's fine. That's fine. Have I played Resident Evil 4 on Nintendo? No, I didn't. I never got a chance to play Nintendo Cube. My introduction was in 2004 when it came out on the PlayStation 2. That was my introduction. I actually still, to this day, have my original copy of that game. This is my original copy of Resident Evil 4 that I got for Christmas in 2000 and I believe 4. Same copy. Hasn't changed. In fact, even some of my writing is still there, which is weird, but yeah. This is what made me a Resident Evil fan. This was my introduction, not on GameCube. I think if they do a remake to Code Veronica, they might use changes that were made in Dark Side Chronicles. I could see them doing that. I could definitely see them doing that because there's definitely some changes that they did that I was okay with. Have I ever watched Dragon Ball GT? Yes, I did watch Dragon Ball GT when it came out, and it was fine. Wasn't as good as Z, and it's not as good as Super, but I think it's fine. It's got some bright spots and some stupid spots. Have I ever watched DC's Arrowverse shows? I watched some of them, but not all of them. Burst Limit is like the first Budokai, but it's much better graphics. Well, I'll take your word for it. The T-103 is a model of the Tyrant of... Okay, I'd have to double check that. Black Wolf, I can describe what they did with the voice lines in the remake with one word, lazy. I'm not saying it was lazy because they definitely redid some lines, but they just took the script. They got the old script, they had them do it again, but you could tell they were mixing old recordings with new recordings. There was no way they brought them in and had them do every single line again. I don't believe that at all. I think the voice actors that some characters that just couldn't come back, maybe they were retired, or maybe they didn't have their voice anymore, or maybe they passed away. Those lines were new. But I don't think they replaced anyone who couldn't come back. And they certainly did not have them re-record every line. Because there's a lot of dialogue. And heck, it saves cost too. I'd say once again, Resident Evil 4 Original is made so well no remake was ever needed. Absolutely, Mayboom. I still play Resident Evil 4 to this day. I still play it at least once a year. Like if you're a 10 out of 10 game, odds are at some point I will absolutely come back and play that. A lot of 10 out of 10s I have no problem playing absolutely from scratch. Don't need a new game plus. I want to play a completely clean new game, which is why I recently got back into Kingdom Hearts 2 recently. The Deadpool is not only my third favorite Marvel game, it's also my top 5 favorite hack and slash game alongside Devil May Cry 5 and God of War Ragnarok. Okay, I mean, you know, the Deadpool game's fine, but I wouldn't say it's a top 5 or top 10 hack and slash. I forgot. PS1 fan lifelong. Exactly. That's impressive. I lost my original copy of Paper Mario and 1,000 Doors. Man, that sucks. Do I have Borderlands 2? Maybe. I'd have to double check. Huh. I believe so. Okay, this is what I have. This is the only Borderlands thing I own, and it does come with 2, which is the only one I've really played, and it does come with Borderlands the pre-sequel, but I don't recall playing that too much, but I do recall I have beaten that one for sure. And I played a lot with my brother online, so yeah. Metal Gear Solid 4 maxed out the powerful PlayStation 3. Remember when Metal Gear Solid came out? Yes, it did, and mind you, that game came out in 2008, so... Shane, what happened to High Moon Studios? Yeah, I know. That sucks. Have I not played Borderlands 1 or 3? No. Just didn't feel need to. I played one Borderlands game, and it was fine, so... Did I hear about Zatanna being in the Clayface movie? So we're adding magic now? We're adding, like, is Clayface supposed to be in the Pattinson universe? I'm confused, because I thought that was real, like, kept in a realistic world, because if they start adding magic, if they start doing that, then I think that may confirm that they're gonna put him in the Superman world, and I don't want that. I don't make a brand new Batman. Have it be for that one. I like Pattinson in his own world. Batman is not good when he has to interact with superhuman beings. It's never great. I saw Justice League, and I asked myself this question: why the hell is Batman here? That is the only variation of Batman that I've ever seen interact with the Justice League that I asked myself, why is he here? Like, he doesn't fit. This Batman, for some reason, does not fit with these characters. It's weird. I'm asking, why is he here? Either way, I hope they keep the origins of being produced by mutagens. Who knows? Have I seen Alien Earth? Yeah, I've seen a few episodes. It's fine. I gotta say, Alien's been on a bit of a roll because I really like the Romulus too. It just said the director's not coming back for the sequel. That has me a bit worried. If Clayface is added, magic, what's next? Time travel? Oh, Daniel, please do not give them any ideas. We already got alternate dimensions in Peacemaker. All kinds of different dimensions and realities. I'm like, ooh, oh boy. Are you saying the Punisher doesn't fit with the Avengers? I don't think so. I mean, it's weird. I mean, he just kills people with guns. I mean, what makes him so special? He's a mercenary. He's a mercenary that just doesn't. He just goes around and kills criminals. I mean, not saying that the Avengers don't kill people. They certainly do kill people, but I think they're a little more friendlier about it. Which you don't think about. It's like, yeah, if you go watch the first Iron Man film, it's like, yeah, Tony Hawk is killing these guys. Like, we got about 24 minutes because I started a little bit late, so you guys. But yeah, question. Just double checking. Do you guys want me to stream Gears? Like, if not, it's no big deal. But I really, really want to play with somebody, anybody on co-op for at least and I'm not sure if they do match, like chapter matching. I don't know, but all I know is matchmaking or just multiplayer was not fun. It's tough to get Batman out of his own darkness. Yeah, I guess. Does Wolverine not fit with the Avengers? Wolverine is an X-Men. What the hell do you want him doing in the Avengers? He's an X-Men. Keep him on his own team. Why would you want to take someone who's a predominant member? That's like asking, heck, does Superman work in the Avengers? He's in the Justice League. Why the fuck would you want him in the Avengers? What did I think of the 2003 Hulk movie? It was okay. I thought Eric Bana was a good Bruce. I thought that design of Hulk was pretty powerful. Not a fan of his dad being the villain. I don't know who he was. But, like, he was absorbing things, and, like, how he died was he just absorbed too much gamma radiation? I was like, how the hell does that work? Dang, Gears would be fun. Remember, Captain America Civil War, when people complained about all the damage that the Avengers had caused because the Avengers repair all that damage, I was like, well, I mean, at least they acknowledged it. The funny thing is, that was the whole thing with Man of Steel. It was like, dude, you kind of destroyed half of Metropolis. Like, you know, well, I saved the world. Yeah, but you destroyed the city and probably caused millions of, like, collateral damage deaths. I mean, you know. Have I played any Marvel vs. Capcom? I believe so. I've played one in the arcade, but that's about it. You guys got anything else? Couldn't Scarlet Witch use her telekinesis to repair all the damage? She probably could, but, you know, they don't think that far ahead. What was behind the satellite? JD. It's complicated. That's a complicated answer, so I wouldn't be able to answer it here. Russ, if I were to do Final Fantasy Devil May Cry crossover, would no, I wouldn't even attempt that. That is not a good. No, I don't think that works. No, because that's kind of what 16 felt like. It felt like if you wanted to make like a hack and slash Final Fantasy game, like that's what you would get with 16. That's really what it felt like. Who would win, Goku or Superman? Well, I think Death Battle already answered this 3 times that Superman would win. Why? Are they doing a 4th version? What? Have I ever played Blood Omen games? No, I do not believe I have, Mayboom. Positive on that. Time Splitter? Nope. I've heard of those games, but I've never played them. Medal of Honor? Yes. I've played several Medal of Honors. I think I own one of them, I believe. I can double check. I'm pretty sure. I got like 1 or 2 of them. Pretty sure. Goku can't beat Superman, Saitama, or Galacticus. I don't know. I'm more familiar with Frontline. You ever heard of a game series called Homefront? That's a really obscure series. Which has been better story for Leon, 4 or 6? Oh, definitely 4. 4's 4. Because Leon's not even the main character in 6. It's split between multiple groups, so. But I do think his campaign was the best in 6, no question. Like, you were actually fighting zombies, so. You know, there's that. Got really quiet all of a sudden. The one where, yeah, North, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. A lot of people don't remember that one. I have a copy. Will you check out Rock's new movie Smashing Machines? No, probably not. Not really interested in that kind of stuff. I don't really do sports, or I don't even watch MMA, so I don't watch MMA or UFC. I'm not into that stuff. So. What's the best gameplay mechanics I've ever experienced? Gameplay mechanics? I don't know. I think it depends on the genre, so I can't really. You know what? Well, maybe not gameplay mechanics, but I don't know. I've always liked the turn-based system in RPGs. I mean, that counts. Have I ever seen the 1984 movie Red Dawn? No. No, I have not. But I didn't care for the remake either, so. Alright, we still got a good 15 minutes. Best third-person shooter perspective mechanics. Third person, maybe Uncharted 4, I guess. I mean, if we're talking third person, I mean, when I really look at my list, and when I look at it, I'm like, I think that would count as the highest. I mean, when I look at my listed favorite, like, pure third person shooter games, no. Yeah, I'd say probably Tomb Raider, specifically Rise. I'd say that's definitely the highest. Ranking favorite Final Fantasy weapons. That's impossible. There's too many of them. There's too many. Have I watched The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones show? No, I have not. Did I not like Batman in the Justice? No, he was fine. I liked Batman in the Justice League cartoon. I was just saying. Okay. You're describing. Okay, here's the thing: is Metal Gear Solid third person? Yeah, you can also play that first person. So I think that's why it's hard to say. Is that a pure third person? I don't know, because you can play that first person. So I'm not sure if that counts. Devil May Cry is fun. Yeah, I know Devil May Cry is fun. Or are you talking about that abysmal abomination DMC that's got Bob and Steve? Because that's not a Devil May Cry game. I don't know what the hell the developers were smoking crack or whatnot, but that was not Devil May Cry. You think the future of 007 reboots features 20-something-year-old James Bond looks very good? It looks like it looks like a James Bond themed Uncharted game, which is fine. It looks fine to me. So that's definitely a game I will absolutely be playing next year for sure. Do you think Brock Lesnar's daughter will ever become a wrestler? Doubtful. Don't think so. If she wanted to, she could, but I don't think so. Zach, you think this would be something you would... What? Wait, what? You think this... Wait, okay, I gotta read this to make it make sense. You think this would be something you would think about Cora, good girl, but not sure if you would trust her with your kids, right? I'm not even sure how to I'm not even sure how to process the question. I think you're asking, would I let Cora look after my kids? I guess. I mean, if I had kids, I needed a babysitter. I mean, they're just gonna help water her plants on the ship. And why the hell are my kids on the ship in the first place? So that's a weird question. Not referring to the new game, referring to the movie series. I mean, if they want to get a 20-year-old Bond, I mean, go right ahead. I mean, I would expect you would get a young person if you want to make like 4 or 5 Bonds. I mean, Daniel Craig was, I mean, all the Bonds looked young when they started. I mean, Sean Connery was in his 20s when he started. Roger Moore was in his early 30s when he started. Pierce Brosnan was, I believe, in his late 20s, early 30s when he started. Like, all the Bonds were young. I mean, they were in their late 20s, early 30s. I mean, so if you want to go over like a 21-year-old Bond, go right ahead. Have I watched... Russ, have I watched GNC Gaming Sins on Devil May Cry? No. I don't think so. You like the mecha battle in Metal Gear Solid 4? I thought it was underwhelming. Even played Zone Enders. I don't know how you could think that was underwhelming, dude. That is like one of the biggest moments. I mean, you get to pilot a Metal Gear. That is like, think about it. For a franchise called Metal Gear, that is the first and only time you get to pilot any kind of vehicle. Like outside of maybe Phantom Pain, but even that's like a minor vehicle. I mean, you get to pilot the same Metal Gear that you fought in the first game. I mean, that's a massive moment. That's the first time two mechs go at it. That never, ever, ever happens in the franchise. I mean, that's like easily a top 5 moment for me. And have I ever played Zone of Enders? Yes, I own both of them. I mean, Cora Harper you say, is a good person, but personally, you wouldn't trust her with your kids, and she likely doesn't know how to handle kids. Depends on what you mean by handle kids. Like, if I had a kid and I need Cora to just watch them for an hour and we're on the ship, she just have them water her plants and maybe take a nap. I mean, it's not that hard to look after a kid if you're just babysitting for a couple of hours. I don't think it's that hard. I've done it myself. And I don't have any kids. Did you see Death Battle Hulk versus Godzilla? Rashard, I don't watch Death Battle anymore. I have not watched Death Battle in a very, very, very long time. I stopped a long time ago. Have I played Dante's Inferno? How long have you been watching my channel? I did a whole versus matchup putting Dante up against Gabriel. Of course I have that game. I've streamed that sucker multiple times. Of course I have. Have I watched Hellsing Ultimate? Yes, I have. Saw a TV series called You. I've never heard of it, Mayboom. Never heard of it. Alright, we got about 8 more minutes left. But have I watched Netflix Castlevania? Yes, of course. I've seen both versions, all seasons, and it's fine. Also, have I watched the abridged version of Hellsing Ultimate? No, I have not. I've never heard of it. Never heard of an abridged version, but then again, every anime and TV show has some abridged version of it in some form or not. Favorite Rock match? Don't have one. Not a big fan of his. And besides, Rock was before my time, so I can't really claim to be a big fan of anyone who was wrestling before 2005. I mean, that's when I started watching wrestling. Do you like Cena as an actor or a wrestler? I think he's fine both. I think he's done fine in both. You just gotta give him the right role. I don't think in a movie he can be a good main man, but he plays a good supporting role, and he's done great things. He's really he's absolutely done fantastic with the Peacemaker character. No. Cena as no. No, that wouldn't work. I heard a rumor, there was a rumor like 10 years ago like he was going to be Duke Nukem. I was like, I guess back then, sure, but not now. I think he's too old for that role. You guys got any last questions? We got 5 minutes left. Who's smarter, Dexter or Jimmy? I think Jimmy might be a little bit smarter. So you think Dark Knight Returns Batman would be okay in a fight with a man of his age? Well, he seemed to do just fine from what we saw.
Let's go.
Okay, I don't even know how this works. Like if I so I just started a co-op game with oh shit. Like I don't know if people can just randomly join, but did Solid Snake really have 150 IQ? I mean, if that's what the sources say. Channing Tatum is Doomslayer? I don't think so. Favorite Dragon Ball fights ranked? There's too many to rank them. Will you be streaming the co-op gear? Well, I'm already doing it, but I don't know if anyone. I don't know how anyone joins. I don't know how this works. Like I'm like. Oh, you can't really see it. But like, it's already there. But I don't know how to invite anyone or. I think you need to be friends with someone. I don't think anyone can just join. So unless someone online hops on PlayStation and has a copy, I can't really play co-op. Which is stupid. Because even Resident Evil 5 figured that out. So. Gotta roll. Good hanging. Alright, thanks Russ for stopping by. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll stream it, but like only if someone knows how can actually join, because that's what I want to do. Because I think only friends can join, so. Oh, that's a nice feature.
We've got two options. We can go back the way I came.
Doom 26 is 4. I maybe, I guess. I don't know. James, do you have a favorite Nintendo console? Oh, absolutely. I would say my favorite Nintendo console is probably Nintendo 64, I would say. I still have mine. How were those naps during MGS Con? I fell asleep for Friday. They were okay. I just went back to the motel and took a nap for like an hour and then came back. Did that like twice. They were okay. I mean, just went right to the motel. It was like 5 minutes away. So, yeah. No complaints. I felt trapped at MGS Con too, so, you know. So I couldn't leave. I mean, if I bought something, I would have to go to my car and hope that the parking garage was open, so. And then it was kind of a nightmare trying to get out. But that'll do it for today's stream. I don't know. I'm gonna give it like another 5-10 minutes. If no one joins me or if I can't find anyone to do co-op with me on Gears, then I won't do the stream. But if I do, so pretty much like that's how you'll know if I'm doing a stream, is if I find someone. But yeah, mention the issue with the widespread blue screens deaf at the airports. Remember, you know what happens. But yeah, we'll be sure to do another stream next Wednesday around the same time. But yeah, you'll find out in the next 10 minutes if I do a stream of Gears or not. So yeah, till next time, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by.